Hey guys, it's Marco again. Earlier this morning we witnessed a massacre made by Blizzard to our beloved spec Frost. Let's see how much damage has been done. To clarify Blizzard needs for a Frost nerf, Frost mages were dominating Mythic Plus scene with their insane damage in well-coordinated groups. So Blizzard decided to do this. Frozen Orb damage reduced by 8%, Blizzard damage reduced by 5%, and reduces the cooldown of Frozen Orb by 0.25 seconds each time Blizzard deals damage, was 0.5 seconds. Icy Propulsion cooldown reduction can now only occur every 0.35 seconds. Okay, so as you can see, this is an insane nerf to their AoE potential. Frozen Orb was doing huge amount of damage on big packs, so they reduced this damage by 8%, and then they also said, well, to hell with Frozen Orb, we will just reduce the spawn rate of these by at least 40%, with Blizzard cooldown reduction nerf. So not only that they nerfed the damage, they nerfed the spawn rate of them by a lot. Bear in mind that Frozen Orb is a great source of ice lances as well. This is already a big nerf, and then the worst nerf in my opinion, Icy Propulsion nerf. Man, this potency conduit was super strong, but Frost mages played around this potency conduit for the whole expansion, and it was fun. This is a conduit which single-handedly made Frost a competitive DPS option in the first place. On big pulls you would get Icy Veins reset super fast, and it was just a source of Rune of Powers, which were boosting your damage. With this nerf, it's actually going to be hard to maintain 100% Icy Veins uptime on AoE packs, and what else to say. The fact which I absolutely hate is they nerfed a spec to the ground just because of Mythic Plus, an area of the game which offers mostly just fun to players, and players made it competitive with the key pushing. Mythic Plus is just a great addition to the game. It offers the best gear at plus 16 key and people are pushing plus 30 keys. The main gameplay and the most competitive one should still be the raiding scene. And just because a spec was doing great in Mythic Plus, they decided to destroy it for the people who wanted to raid with it. This is the same problem we had with PvP and PvP tuning back in the past, and they finally balanced the game separately. Frost mages were shaping up to be the best mage spec for the upcoming raid. They were decent, but they were still lacking in terms of DPS and utility compared to other classes. So we would probably just see one mage, likely Frost, in the top guilds for the race for the role first. Now with the Icy Propulsion nerf, just with that nerf, they are going to garbage spec. Frozen Orb and Blizzard nerf will definitely hurt them in the raid to an extent, but man, our Icy Veins uptime is going to be reduced by a lot. I was actually excited about Comet Storm tier bonus, since it would reduce your Icy Veins cooldown by a lot and you would easily manage to keep 100% uptime on your Icy Veins, even through some downtime on the bosses. But now the whole spell, which hits the target 7 times in like half a second, reduces the cooldown of Icy Veins by a second instead of like 7 seconds. Same thing goes with the normal Frost combo, Frostbolt into instant cast Flurry. 3 to 4 critical hits and they will only activate Icy Propulsion once. Uptime of Icy Veins finally became 100%, something which we were actually striving for the whole expansion, and that was kind of our progression. And in one swoop we will probably be looking at 60-70% uptime on Icy Veins. They might as well send us back to Castle Nathria. Also for ages, Frost has been known as a great cleave spec, and now their cleave spec got heavily gutted. Freezing Winds as a legendary is nerf, since our Frozen Orb generation in cleave fights is going to be really low, and it's just sad. I find it quite unfair that they nerf a spec this much because it has been OP for like 2 months now and in only one aspect of the game. But they weren't the only spec which was super strong in Mythic Plus. You would run one mage, one rogue and a monk, and rogues monks just dodged being gutted. If you check Warcraft logs, Frost is in the middle of the pack, and we have something in this expansion like Balanced Druids, who are on top of the Warcraft logs tier for the whole expansion now. Overall, I'm quite disappointed in this gigantic nerf, and I hope that it won't take them a lot to buff Frost for the raid. But looking back at Castle Nathria and Frost situation, they may as well neglect the spec completely. I also need to mention that they could make this nerf less of a hit for Frost mages, if they just reduce the damage from Unrelenting Cold and Blizzard Conduit, and just make it so Frozen Orb can affect Icy Propulsion once every second. This way it would still be a nerf to the Mythic Plus, but for the raid version it would be only a very small nerf. They could also nerf glacial fragments, make a 5 target cap on Blizzard, something like that, other than this stupidity. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm giga disappointed and you can probably hear that from my voice. I hope that the rage of the mages gets to the Blizzard headquarters. I've also scrapped like 24 hours of my work on the new videos, since I was sure that Frost is the spec for the next raid. One Frost video was already scheduled to be out today. I finished it yesterday and this happened. I hope that you guys will support my efforts by hitting that like button, subscribing, and maybe even giving me some love on Patreon. Again, thank you for all the views, and I guess I'll see you when I remake the intended videos.